So, you know, I've looked into it. It's because I'm walking on my toes all the time. All of my leg muscles are large, like both my calves, as well as, like my thigh muscles are all very, like, lean and strong and big. And I don't work out or anything like that.
I don't care how much money you really have if no one fucking likes or respects you.
I don't really have a documentary-styled topic today, so it's back to the old format for now. Trust me, I'm looking for something new to deep dive into. Anyway, I reacted to the video we're about to see yesterday, but was so dumbfounded by Phil's behavior it absolutely warranted a video about it. So let's bring everyone up to speed, or at least to what I know about the situation. Phil asked LTG, who by the way is dubbed the Black DSP, to play Street Fighter 6 with him. Without delving into the psychopathy too much, LTG rejected this offer unless Phil paid him a certain amount of money. The more DSP persisted, the more money LTG wanted, going from $5,000 to $10,000, even $25,000, which led to a wholly cringe laugh segment from DSP.
I need, you know what, instead of 5, now I need 25,000. The price just went up doing it. It's not my passion. Simple. So give me 5 hands.
He said 25,000.
Really wish I was making that up, but anyway, he finally capped it out at $30,000. LTG has made it quite clear he wants nothing to do with Phil whatsoever, but Phil has kept persisting and insulting LTG. There, now you're all caught up. At least to what I'm privy to. Let's let Snort Hogan take it from here.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort,
Hogan. Drip.
snort, snort.
I got the drip. Go.
Anyway, okay, what's the next topic today? I guess we should get this over with. This is just so funny to me. It's absolutely hilarious. So, as you guys know, earlier this week, I did a response to the response to the response to the response. And, I should do this. New topic, everyone. Next topic. The reason I'm doing that is because apparently it's easy for people to find that when I go like this and say new topic. They're able to find that, and so they can timestamp the video and stuff easily. Plus, it helps me to find this when I'm clipping stuff, okay? Okay, so
A very quick aside, YouTube Studio has a button that allows you to place bookmarks so one can find their clips in the mess of a long stream faster. Again, I've been doing this for roughly 6 months. Phil has been doing this for 16 years. You can't make this shit up. Now, hilariously, when I first started recording for this video, I put the wrong clip into my editor. I accidentally loaded the calves rant, and wouldn't you know it, it literally started just like this, with Phil explaining why he does jazz hands. Very robust, dude.
new topic for everyone. Earlier this week, I responded to a response to a response to a response to a response from LTG. At this point, it's becoming so convoluted with these responding to a response of the same video. And LTG's stream quality is so poor. There's no way you can even tell what response is the new one, what's the old one. Like, the guy literally streams identically every day, so his camera's in the same spot. You can't tell even if this is the old response, the new response. He's completely unprofessional with how he makes content, okay? So, basically, I had a kind of enough of that, and I was like, I said my piece, I made some clips, like, enough with this guy, because I don't even know what the point is at this point, because it seems like he wants something out of a collab. He outright admitted it finally, instead of lying and says, I want 5K, 10K, 25K, 1 million K, whatever how much money he wants. It's all bullshit. He admitted it last time when we was talking about him. He said, I want to get some kind of a benefit out of a collab, and I never get a benefit. And he even mentioned other collabs that I don't even know who these people are or what they are, but he mentioned that he did these collabs, and he got absolutely nothing positive out of them at all, so that's why he doesn't want to do it, okay? So I said, well, what we should do is we should figure out a way that he benefits. Like, how could he actually benefit? I guarantee you, there is a way that he could benefit from a collab.
Only DSP could behave the way he does, lie the way he does, leech the way he does, and then have the audacity to call someone else unprofessional. I wonder if LTG writes his bills down on loose leaf paper with a crayon, like this professional style streamer. Now, if someone could do me a solid and tell me why a camera being in a static location makes the stream unprofessional, I'd greatly appreciate that, because that just makes no goddamn sense, no matter how you slice it. But to the burning question I had when I reacted to this yesterday, and it still plagues me at present, is What is Phil actually doing right now? What is the point of this? He said that he was done with LTG after firing what he says are observations about his setup. Everyone else would call them insults, but I digress. And now it's evolved into a back and forth between the two. This, of course, all goes away if Phil just stops responding, but since the video has God knows how much time left, I think we all know that's not going to happen. Additionally, this whole bit doesn't signal I don't care, you don't bother me, because it very obviously does. No matter how you look at it, going on tangent after tangent on LTG tells the world you absolutely care about how you are perceived by either LTG or in comparison to him, which I guess chalk up another insecurity Phil has. And this, he wants something out of a collab. Well, no kidding. Phil, you two aren't friendly. You deride him constantly. Of course he wants a guarantee of it being worth his time. But I have a feeling that's not what he was saying. He's kind of outright saying it before this piece, but I think the I want to benefit and Phil won't give me that argument is his way of saying, no, leave me alone. But what Phil heard was show that it would be of benefit to him. And as much as I hate to do it, I have to say I at least understand Phil here, because I'm on the spectrum, I think Phil is too, and unless you outright tell me, go away, I'm not going to comprehend that. So the smallest amount of understanding goes to Phil from me.
All right? I guarantee you there is a way he could benefit from collabing with me, just coming on this show and having a conversation, or playing Street Fighter if that's really what people want. It seems like he's not interested in that. I'll be honest. I really don't think it would do much because I know I'm going to beat his ass. You know, I have like so many characters in Master, and I watch him play, and I'm like, there's not going to be it's not even close. Okay, so I don't even see the point. But some people just like the whole drama of play Street Fighter with this guy or whatever, right? But anyway, I know that he would benefit from it. We have to figure out how. Like, what is he really looking for? What does he want to get out of it, right? I've learned from my Project 7 days, where people were like, oh, or I should say, Respect the Pack was like, oh, we don't want anything out of this besides just plug our channel. No way, right? No way. There's no way that that's going to happen because I've learned from that experience. They said that's what they wanted up front, and then later on find out they wanted more, but they never told me. So now I look like the asshole, right? There's no way. I want to know exactly what it is this guy wants out of it, and now he's going to get it, right? So that's where we kind of left it. And I'm thinking that's probably it. He's probably not going to respond again, right? There's no way. We're done with this crap. If he really thinks he can't get anything out of a collab or whatever, then I guess there's nothing further to discuss. Why would we even talk about this again? All right.
I love how this starts off with philanthropist Phil saying that he can find a way to make it benefit LTG by collaborating with him, and then immediately transitions that into a flex of I'm better at Street Fighter than him. It's like watching a child age in reverse, and at present, Phil is around 12 years old saying, I'm better at Street Fighter than you. Look how many characters I have at Master. Also, I have the best Pokemon cards, and I have the new Razor scooter. Sorry, random tangent, I know. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Phil say the reason he didn't know about his friends wanting money was because he got diarrhea from bad pizza? How did that turn into them saying, essentially, we're happy to be slave labor for exposure? Retconning at its finest, I guess. Speaking of retconning, how does Phil think saying things like this won't garner a response?
I'm saying if you really don't need the money, you're a liar, right? What you're actually doing is you're creating a hurdle for us making content because you're a pussy and you don't want to do it.
This is building bridges with people. You don't think that even the most stoic philosopher might think to themselves, this little shit, for the slightest second after hearing that? But in Phil's brain, he sees his last response video as, yeah, that's a good place to leave our bickering, with me attacking his manhood and trying to embarrass him. Christ, not that you need it, but here's a reminder to never let Phil handle any type of negotiation. Like, ever.
So, I thought that's where it was going to end, right? Until someone tells me, Phil, Low Tier God live on his stream, unblocked you on Twitter and sent you a DM, all right? And I was like, that's great. I don't really care. I'll get to it when I get to it or whatever, all right? Like, seriously, whenever I get to it, we'll talk about it, okay? So, yeah, I don't really give a shit that he DM'd me. And I figured I would save it till like the end of the week, and then I would see what he DM'd me about. Now, keep in mind, I never blocked the guy. He blocked me a year ago, all right? Basically, a year ago, I wanted to collab with him for the launch of Street Fighter 6. When Street Fighter 6 was at the height of its popularity and Evo was going down, I said, dude, now is the time. We should do a stream together. If you and I played Street Fighter 6 during Evo weekend, our streams would probably have more views than the official Evo stream. Not saying during finals, but like during qualifiers or whatever. We'd probably get so much more attention than them, and we would definitely win out. This is the time to do it. And I kept talking about it, and he kept ignoring me. And then he started insulting me. He talked about my looks, saying that, I have to work on my sexy and my hairline and shit like that. I need to go to the gym. Just dumb shit, deflecting shit. Because again, he doesn't say what he means or what he really thinks. He deflects with all this bullshit. First, it's my looks aren't good enough. Then it's, I want money. But he doesn't want, none of that is true.
And what a great arc the LTG blast was. Immediately after telling everyone that LTG didn't get to him, Phil goes and buys an entire new wardrobe, stopped wearing fighting game baby tees, and started talking about how much of a mature, styled individual he was. After that, Phil attacked his peanut butter complexion statement and started breaking down slang to literal definitions.
Nice execution.
You're doing terrific.
But Phil, overall, he's 100% correct. I mean, I'm not going to comment on your sexy, but you definitely need to get to a gym. I fear the atrophy is starting to affect your brain.
Right? He wants to find a way to benefit, but he won't say it. He's not. He beats around the bush so bad. Like, he's so afraid to admit the truth about shit.
Oh, hi there, Kettle. Name's Pot. Have we met?
Right? So anyway, this was last summer, and last summer he literally blocked me. He said, "Stop clout chasing me, bro," and then he blocked me on Twitter, so I could never talk to him ever again about anything. Okay? So all this stuff that we've been doing, going back and forth over the last couple of weeks, has been via video responses because I can't talk directly to the guy because he blocked me on Twitter. Okay? He's the one who did it, not me. I wasn't gonna block him. I don't know why the fuck he acts like that.
You don't know why he acts like that? Phil, you mute and ban tons of people, especially if they make valid points against you. Hell, I think you preemptively banned me on your stream. I thought that it was because I messaged on stream and said, hey, in answer to your where's your picture challenge, if you unblock me, you can see my lifts. But on replay, that message never showed on screen. So, yeah. I mean, just another example of rules for thee, but not for re.
Right? So anyway, finally I got around to taking a look at his DM because I was going to talk about it today. And I'm thinking he's probably going to tell me, like, fuck yourself, I don't want to deal with you or whatever. You ready for this? And by the way, for the record, I would not show this DM if he didn't give me permission to. He literally actually in the DM gives me permission to show this to all of you. All right? So I'm assuming he probably already showed it on his end. I don't know, but I'm assuming that he did, or else why would he tell me to show it? It's not like he would give me free content, right? So here it is. Here's the DM. It's directly below me here. Okay? So I'm just going to read this word for word, and then I'm going to respond to it. Okay, so here is his DM word for word. Keep in mind, this is him. He unblocks me, and this is the first thing he sends me. Okay? I'm going to let you know one thing. Don't you ever in your life talk money to me. You cannot compete with me in any category in life. I promise you, I shit on you in any category you can possibly think of. This desperate attempt to create some beef to clip farm my name is as pathetic as your whole entire internet presence and demeanor. I shit on you in revenue across the board and have been for years. I do not need your bum ass. You need me. Now stay in that miserable slumber NPC. Ask me what the fuck that means. You are literally a bum to me. Now share this on your poverty ass stream, weirdo. So again, I would not have read that if he didn't say, read it on your stream, show it on your stream. Okay? This is what he sent me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But what would you expect besides a terse or angry response? That clip of you calling him a was just a small part of your condescending and arrogant react to him. I want to say that it was on the Cavs stream that DSP mentioned adding new songs or something, and people responded with comments like, that's stupid, or I hate AI. So Phil launched into a rant about how people used to be grateful and that he would only listen to constructive criticism. But he let the mask slip a bit when he revealed, oh, now that chat is being nice, I can take feedback. I don't know how to tell you this, Phil, but life is cruel. People are cruel, and sometimes reactions to supremely insulting comments are going to be equally insulting and cruel. Just because you're the guy doesn't mean everyone has to be nice to you. As a matter of fact, you could use a healthy dose of tough love, in my opinion. The fact that you've been coddled your whole life, think you have a hard life, and constantly complain about your life tells everyone that you don't know what pain or struggle actually is, and it's very apparent based on your behavior.
now I want you to think about this. He says over and over, I want nothing to do with you. I don't want to collab with you. Okay? So I just keep roasting the fucking guy because every time that he does a response, he just makes himself look like an idiot. Right? He's saying, I don't need money, but he keeps asking me for money to appear or to show in a collab. When he says, I don't know why people think that I'm broke, I say it's because your setup looks awful. Your setup looks like you're living in like a dorm room. You've got the cheapest background possible of felt that obviously is super cheap. We showed it's from Temu, the website, or whatever. It's $15 to buy it. You've got an LED wall that you won't show on camera, probably because it sucks too. You have it off camera. Like, you have horrible lighting. Your webcam quality sucks. Your whole thing sucks. You know what I'm saying? So why would people think that you have money when you don't present yourself as having money? If you present yourself as a bum, people will think you're a bum. And that's what the deal is. You know, if he was there with a good setup with great lighting and everything looked amazing, people would be like, all right, this guy's doing good for himself. Look at his setup. This guy's doing good, right?
See what I mean about this rant? And we're not even to the good parts yet. The projection here is so extreme, it's broken the needle, but we'll get more into projection later, trust me. I take issue with several bits of this rant, namely the fact that Phil rips into LTG for using cheap noise-canceling filter, whatever. This tells us so much about how Phil sees the world. If there are more dollar signs, it's obviously better in Phil's eyes. Now, I'm not defending LTG here, but going after someone's setup when 95% of yours was quote-unquote donated seems like a very strange flex. The other main problem with this bit is the notion of presenting yourself as something. And yes, I've heard the adage fake it till you make it. And maybe you should buy the good suit in order to try and impress an interviewer, etc. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about projecting a fallacy. In Phil's eyes, at least based on what I'm hearing here, it's better to blow your money on crap to give the image of being well off or of doing good. It doesn't matter if you're in crippling debt. You should spend like you're not, lest you be found out that you're in debt. And this is a very dangerous way of thinking, but if you dive deeper, it makes sense. Phil projects that he doesn't have a gambling problem, that he doesn't have issues with money, and if he were to admit that he does, it would break his projection. The entirety of Phil's being is dependent upon a select few dents thinking he has his life in order, and the resulting behavior and ego, I think, are a direct result of this.
But that's not how it is. He looks like a schlub, like someone who's just barely getting a stream going. You know, so that's why, right? So all I'm doing, I'm responding very plainly and matter-of-factly to this stuff that he's saying, and keep showing that he just exposes himself and makes him look stupid every time, right? So the truth is, if he doesn't want to do a collab, right, and he doesn't want to do anything with me, all he should do is just say, all right, I'm just not going to respond to Phil anymore. I'm just, you know, there's no reason for me to respond to Phil ever again because I want nothing to do with him.
Phil, doesn't this go both ways? Why are you responding to him? Why not ignore him? You say you're not a drama streamer, yet here you are, streaming and directly causing drama. What is going on that makes you compelled to post his message and react to it? It's not gaming news. It's not what your fans want, but here you are, because your ego just can't let someone get the last word.
And if that's the case, obviously I'm not going to keep talking about him. What's the point, right? But no, instead, he goes out of his way to unblock me on Twitter and then to send me this threatening DM, all right? So it's either one of two things, okay? It's either this guy's ego is so inflated that if anyone ever catches him out and tells him something truthful, like your setup looks like shit, that's why people think you're poor, you keep asking for money, that's why people think you're poor, he can't handle that. It fries his brain like an egg, right? So now he's like seething at this. He's seething and he can't take it.
Yes, Phil actually said that. He chastised someone for having an ego that won't allow him to take criticism and that people think he's poor because he begs all the time. I had to listen to this multiple times to try and find a glimmer of, oh shit, that's me, in a micro expression on Phil somewhere, but it doesn't exist. Phil cannot or is refusing to see the parallel. But the reason I stopped it here was to bring up this definition. Threat. A suggestion that something unpleasant or violent will happen, especially if a particular action or order is not followed. This states a suggestion of action must occur. There was no suggestion of action in that message, no ultimatum, no if-then statement, nothing. But Phil, the man who said, I have your docs, I can expose you, he said that's not a threat. He thinks this is a threat. It's mind-numbing, isn't it?
So now he has to clap back somehow, right? And he realizes that every time he does a video response to me, I make fun of him because it's always hilarious to watch his video responses because they're fucking terrible, right? So now he's like, well, I'm not going to give him that content. I know what I'll do. I'll unblock him and I'll give him a threatening DM because my e-thuggery will definitely work in this situation, right? Like totally 100%. This is going to scare me off, right? Like, yeah, let me tell you, Mr. Sparrow, Mr. Tweety Bird, I'm terrified right now of your e-thuggery. Your words typed into this small box on the side of my computer monitor, I'm quaking right now. You can't see it, but I'm actually defecating and pissing in my pants at the same time right now because I read those sentences. I am absolutely shaking in my boots. You're definitely message, received. And definitely I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, okay, boss. I don't know if you know this, but body language, intonation, and cadence all play a factor into making a believable parody. However, what I saw here was a coward who knows that he can act tough behind a keyboard, especially with the use of the phrase e-thuggery. While not overtly or outright racist, the racial overtone is quite apparent. Additionally, as stated before, there is no threat in that message that LTG sent. Go to your local police department, tell them you think you've been threatened, show them the message, and see what they say. Lastly, the energy here is wrong. Nothing about this convinces me that Phil is unfazed by the message. Actually, it's quite to the contrary. And I brought up bravery behind the keyboard for a very specific reason. If you've seen the Cavs rant, you've seen Phil ask why he should work out. There's no point. And it's for this very reason. The amount of toxic, taunting bile he spews out by the very nature of the volume he produces is bound to have consequences eventually. When that happens, is Phil expecting his fat rolls to cushion the blow? Perhaps the tears will flow again and the claim of "I'm an alcoholic" will be heard across Renton.
Let's actually analyze what he's saying here, okay? So his first statement, I'm going to let you know one thing. Yeah, you didn't have to open with that. Doesn't even mean anything, okay? Don't you ever in your life talk money to me. Now, the funny part about this is I still haven't talked money to him. Did you know that? I haven't. It's his detractors, his trolls, who are talking money to him. They're the ones that are saying, oh, we found that you owe all this money, and we found that you're broke, and we found that you live in Section 8 housing and stuff like that, and you're not supposed to because of your income. Like, they're the ones who are harassing him, not me. I don't even know anything about this stuff. I only know because you guys have been telling me on my own streams, okay? So, I don't know anything about that. I have not accused the guy of being poor. I made factual observations. Like, he's saying to his trolls, why does everyone think I'm poor? Right? He says, I'm not going to open up my bank account. I never asked him to open his bank account or show any statements. I honestly don't give a crap how much money this man makes. But there's two things that are resoundingly true. Number one, he keeps asking for money to collab with me. And you don't ask for something you don't need, right? And number two, excuse me, I'm burping like crazy now. His setup looks like crap. His setup looks like absolute crap. I mean, he's got a cat tree in his setup, and the cat never shows up. My cat is sitting on my lap right now. You're seeing more of my cat right now than you ever see on an LTG stream, and he has a cat tree behind it, right? Look, my cat tree is my chair, right? So, I mean, if your setup's terrible, people are going to think you're poor. And if you keep asking for money, people are going to think you're poor. And all you're doing is you're reinforcing what your detractors and your trolls are saying. So it's your actions that are making people think you're poor. I don't know anything about the behind the scenes stuff at all. I really don't. I don't care either. I told you guys this a million times. I'm not accusing this man of being poor. If his subscriber count on Twitch is accurate and he has over 3,000 subscribers, he makes a good amount of money every month just on that. And I'm sure he gets other contributions too. So who am I to talk about money comparisons? Why would I even give a crap? Right? Like, that's a weird flex because you're flexing on me for money when I've literally never criticized money. I criticize the looks of your setup and the fact you keep asking for money, but I never said that you're poor.
Let's reevaluate the evaluation. Quote, I'm going to let you know one thing, end quote. Of course he didn't have to open with that, Phil. He chose to. Why is this a focal point? Quote, don't you ever in your life talk money to me, end quote. Phil says he's never talked money to LTG, and I honestly don't know if that's true or false because I'm behind on current day LTG rants. But what I do know is that listing off the things that he's been trolled about, like Section 8 housing and the rest, seems as though you're representing that data as fact. Which of course is when Phil absolves himself of all responsibility by saying, I only say that because you guys told me about it. If you don't know if it's true, Phil, why bring it up? What other purpose could you have to rattle off those items unless you're trying to troll LTG? Moreover, his claim of, I'm not saying he's poor, might be technically accurate. Looking at inference is everything. Phil says that there are two things that are true. One, that he keeps asking for money in order to collab. Phil takes this data and infers it to mean that LTG needs money because he asks for money, of course not seeing the irony. The problem is a person can be wealthy and value their time. Now, I'm not saying that LTG is wealthy. I honestly don't know his financial situation. However, the conclusion that Phil draws here is premature. Secondly, he says that his setup looks like crap, and this is a subjective observation, not objective. Based on Phil's uber strict standards of circumstantial evidence not meaning anything because you have to assume too much for it to matter, this would hold no weight in the court of the pig. I mean, if Phil followed his own rules, which we know he doesn't because he brings up detractors all the time, but the rules specifically state in his chat no detractor talk. But what's truly great about the my setup is better there at the end is the flex that Jasper comes on stream. Who cares, Phil? Why is Jasper a flex? Like, make it make sense, please. Then the irony just gets poured on us with the statement, and I quote, all you're doing is you're reinforcing what your detractors and your trolls are saying. So it's your actions that are making people think you're poor. End quote. So when you beg, Phil, it's out of necessity and not because you're poor. You're not poor, right, Phil? And we know this because you have a heavily donated setup, broken appliances, can't save money, but since your setup is so good, you're not poor. That's the argument I'm hearing here, and I just don't understand it.
Right? How could I even justify that or have evidence of that? No one ever could, right? Just like with me, no one could ever say that I'm rich or poor either. Literally, you have no idea if anyone has ever really tipped me. You have no clue. There's no way you would ever have evidence of it. I'm reading it out of emails from PayPal, so how would you know if a tip is real or not?
Yes, Phil, yes. Do you now understand why no one believes you when you say, oh, the streak was saved by a last-minute tip? And it's not just because we don't like you, but rather because you have a documented history of being a pathological liar who will lie if it conveniences him.
I could be making double as much as I call out on stream, or I could be making 1/3 of as much as I call out on stream, and you would never know. No one knows. And honestly, it's none of anyone's business anyway. So who gives a shit? He has no point at all with the stuff that he's upset about, because what this is showing again, seriously, what he's showing again is his ego is so fragile and so vulnerable that his trolls say to him, you're broke, and then he acts like I'm saying it. I never even said that. I don't even care about how much money this man makes. I don't give a shit at all, okay? By the way, I received a $2 tip. LTG had to stream in another room because people made fun of him having cheap curtains and no bed frame in his bedroom. Wow. See, again, this is not me saying this. This is people who observe these things off of your streams, Mr. Sparrow. It's not me saying it. People made observations. You can't handle the factual observations, and you get all upset.
What factual observations, Phil? Did you see that stream? Do you have the logs? Do you know if that person is lying to you? No? Then why are you representing the data from the internets? You know, the most well-known place for people to be telling the truth. Why are you representing that as fact? Oh, but the bank leaks with those $16.51 transactions? You know, the ones that coincide with Phil's haircuts, pet store visits, Burger King visits, birthday purchases, etc. Those aren't true. And how dare you represent that they are true without verification, you moron. Truly robust and kingly, sir.
People wouldn't think you're broke if you didn't look like you were broke, right? So there you go.
People wouldn't think you're weak and have saggy man tits if you didn't look weak and like you had saggy man tits.
So, let's continue analyzing his DM. You cannot compete with me in any category in life. I promise you, I shit on you in any category you can possibly think of. Oh, Mr. Sparrow, I'm so sorry. Much like when you insulted my looks, much like when you insulted, my sexy and all of that, once again, you've done it to yourself. You've fallen into the pit, you've fallen into the trap of saying something incredibly stupid that it is so easy to come back on and make you look like a fool. And this is the thing my detractors do. This is what's happened with Review Tech. This is what's happened with everyone. You expose yourself and set yourself up for the felting. Not me. Like, I didn't do it. You did. All right? So, okay, are you ready for this? Okay. So I promise you I shit on you in any category you can possibly think of. You cannot compete with me in any category in life. All right, you ready to start? All right, number one, I'm on YouTube. Hi, I'm on YouTube. You want to know why I'm on YouTube? Because I'm not banned from YouTube. Because I didn't do anything to warrant a ban because I'm not an incredible moron. All right? You're not on YouTube. You can't be on YouTube because you're permanently banned and you're never coming back. Okay? That's the first thing I have to say. I didn't have to think. That one was so easy, right? I mean, by the way, I don't get suspended every other day on whatever streaming service I'm using because I'm not an idiot. I know how to play the game like an intelligent human. I don't say things that I know would get me suspended or banned because I'm not stupid. You apparently don't have that ability to have restraint and to think before you speak. Instead, you just fucking say dumb shit constantly. And you get banned, suspended, and unsuspended, and resuspended, banned again. It's a joke. I mean, it's a circus. At one point, it becomes a circus. When's the next time LTG is going to get banned so we can all laugh at it again, right? Unbelievable, right? I mean, should we continue? Okay, I can't compete with him. He shits on me in every category possible, all right? Let me show you something. You ready for this? You see my setup? Every day looks a little different. Every day I got some lighting going. I got some nice stuff going. I got the good stuff behind me. You want to see this stuff up here? Do you know what all this stuff is? This is all from my fans. That's why I have it up there. It's not because, I have a big affinity for Sonic the Hedgehog or, because Blanca, I love it. No, that's from my fans. I didn't buy any of that. My fans like me so much that they actually, contribute by giving me stuff that they think is meaningful to them. And then I reciprocate that. I put it in my setup because I want to show you that people support me and like me and have done so for such a long time. I have just as many haters as LTG. I probably have worse and more. But the difference is I survive because I have people who actually like me.
Phil's not banned from YouTube, but he was booted from the Twitch partner program, so potato. In terms of not saying or doing things that would get himself banned, to this day, I don't know how YouTube leaves up his content with all the TOS violations he's done. Oh, and that you don't think before you speak bit didn't go by me. Test me, bitch, or telling people that they should be snapped out of existence, telling people fuck your mother, etc. Yeah, that's all well thought out, articulated arguments of gentlemanly nature, obviously. Also, I know I've said it in the past, but it does bear repeating. Getting gifts is a nice rarity for most, especially men. When I look around my office, I see things I have earned. Some are functional, others are decorative, and others nostalgic or meritorious. Phil has toys. That's his legacy. That's his flex. Phil has toys. Lastly, in reference to people actually like me, it's really odd, Phil, that none of those people will speak up during a documentary. Just saying.
Right? This guy is just like, he survives basically on the incredible drama he creates and the over-the-top things he says. So he may very well have 3,000 subs on Twitch, but all he has to show for it is a bedroom in some crappy apartment that looks like a dorm room. It looks, every time that LTG streams and he turns on his setup, it looks like at any moment his mother might burst through the door and say, "Why didn't you take the trash out? Get your ass out there now." And she starts whapping him with like a shoe, and he has to leave and go do a bunch of chores, right?
Look, I'm fairly anti-woke, but with the e-thuggery comment earlier, when you add it to this, I believe it's the mammy stereotype, the racial trope of mama whacking you with a shoe. Phil's "I'm not racist" argument is getting harder and harder to believe.
That's what his setup looks like. It looks like he lives in his mom's house. It's crappy as hell. There's no professionalism to what he's doing. So why do you think people think you're poor, right? So let's see. I can stream wherever the hell I want. I can make content wherever the hell I want. I don't get banned constantly. I have fans that actually love me. My setup looks better than yours by far. My webcam is clear. You can actually see me. Should I continue? Oh, I can go to Evo because I'm not banned from Evo for being a degenerate. All right? I can go to any tournament I want. In fact, just recently, a local tournament reached out to me and said, "DSP, you're having a resurgence. We'd like to have you at our tournament. Would you come and participate as a guest? That would be nice." And I turned them down. I said, "I really don't have any interest in participating in any offline tournaments right now, but thank you for the invite. I don't see the point. I'm not good or anything. People are going to kick my ass, right? I can go anywhere I want. I'm welcome. I'm a welcome participant, right? You know what I'm saying? That's something you definitely don't have. You're not welcome in quite a lot of places because of the way you act and you behave. People don't like you, man. You got to fess up to this, all right? That's why you're banned from YouTube, from Evo, from a million other places. No one wants to be associated with LTG because of your actions and your words, all right? I can continue. I'm aging gracefully.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
I'm not dyeing my hair. I'm not putting Hair Club for Men in my hair. I'm not dyeing my beard. I'm embracing the fact that I'm getting older.
So first off, just hearing him say he's aging gracefully lets me know that methamphetamine is legal in Renton. I mean, it has to be. But that hilarity aside, Phil is confusing embracing the fact he's getting older with resigning himself to being older. Embracing age is one part understanding limitation like joint pain, despising "you damn kids," and planning for the future. Let me repeat that last one. Planning for the future, Phil. And then it's another part understanding the difference between knowledge and wisdom, theory and practical usage. It's supposed to be good in many ways. What Phil is talking about is resigning himself to age. The King Baratheon's "give me something for the pain and let me die" kind of resignation. How many times have we heard Phil say, "Nothing I can do about it" when it comes to being older? So, Phil, you're not aging gracefully. You understand the best part of your life is likely over, and you've resigned yourself to it.
And I'm going to say, hey, listen, I know things are going to happen as I get older. It's okay. You accept it. You lean into it, and you say, this is who I am now. You don't hide from it. You don't run and pretend like you're 20 years old forever. You know what I don't do? I don't put concealer on my fucking head. All right? I don't need to. Yeah, I have bad skin. I have pimples and shit. I'm not putting concealer all over my fucking head like you do. Like we just saw in the video the other day, you at the barber putting fucking concealer all over your head. Because I don't have to. Because I'm not afraid of myself aging. I'm not afraid of myself becoming the next stage of my life like you. You want to just eternally live in your youth. Like I said this last year. You are the black Johnny Bravo.
Oh man, I'm pretty.
You are. You're just so obsessed with your looks and your persona and all of that. You can't get past it. And because of that, you are stuck sitting there in a bedroom, streaming, looking like a bum, talking to your Discord people. And that's all you're ever going to do.
And pray tell, Phil, what are you going to do? What's your next 5 years looking like? More marathons, more bitching at game developers? Perhaps YouTube coders will get a good talking to. Perhaps you'll buy a better crown so you can beg even more? Hyperbole aside, I am curious as to what Phil's plans are besides psychotically hope for the toaster bathing of my parents. No retirement, no investments, nothing. Now, just a second ago, Phil chastised LTG for being the black Johnny Bravo, going on to say he's obsessed with his looks and his persona. Did he or did he not also give the advice, you have to look good for people to think you're not broke? So, persona and perception are something to work on, or they indicate vanity? Pick one, Phil.
You can reach out and try to do a collab with Destiny, and you can reach out and try to do a collab with it. No one cares. because you pigeonholed yourself into this existence, this online existence of infamy through your awful actions and words. And you've also not like repented or anything. Like, did you ever come out and say, man, I'm really sorry for all those things that I said and did. I really want to change for the better. No, instead, you lean into it and you just keep getting banned. So you're never going to improve. You're never going to get a step up. It doesn't matter how much money you have in life, because money does not equate to happiness. And the truth is, you're not happy. You want to know why? Because if you were happy, all right, you would not be responding to me like this. If you were happy, you would be like, you know what? I don't need to respond to DSP because I'm good. I'm happy with who I am, where I am, right? I don't need to defend myself. I'm just going to ignore him. But instead, you went out of your way to go back to Twitter, which you don't even use for the record, because I checked your Twitter. You never use it. And you fucking unblocked me and sent this threatening message. Don't you ever in your life talk money to me. Money isn't even the subject. The subject is just existence on this planet. My existence on this planet has been far more meaningful than anything you've ever done in your whole life. You understand that? Daily, I get people who come by and say that they see me as an inspiration because I've gotten through so much hardship, so much trolling, so much fucked up stuff, but I'm still here every day. That's why people come to watch my content. That's why people come and support me. Not because I'm a living meme of when will I get banned next and what's the next time I'm going to drop the N-word and what's the next extreme thing I'm going to say. That's you. That's your whole existence. Do you understand? No one cares about you as a person because you've been such a heinous person. It's like June the King just said the other day. You truly are evil with your actions, the way you've acted. Now, maybe you aren't. Maybe you're really not truly that bad inside, but people only know you from how you act on the internet, right? So what did you expect? And now you're going to send me this fucking DM and act like you're better than me? Dude, you are a fart in the wind. You understand? You could have all the money in the world, but you're still nobody. I don't care how much money you really have if no one fucking likes or respects you. Sorry, man. The difference is you could actually have a redemption too, but you'd actually have to want it and work hard for it and try it. But I don't think you have it in you. I really don't. I think that sadly, you're just going to stay there in your echo chamber of your Discord, in your little closet of a fucking streaming room with your awful camera, your awful setup, and you're just going to keep telling yourself you're better than everyone. You're better than everyone. You're better than everyone. You're not better than anyone. You can't even win for yourself. You can't beat your own situation. Yet you want everyone else to think you're some hot shot, right? You're not a hot shot. You never were. All right? I mean, dude, Jay Snyder crushed your fucking gems a decade ago. You never grew them back. Do you understand? Never. You never got your gems back. And you're going to try to come here and fucking talk shit to me? Of all people, one of the most resilient people on the fucking internet? You think I give two fucks about how much money you make and you're flexing and shit? Dude, you're nothing. And you never will be until you change in here. That's the difference. You have to change inside to be someone. You have to find that identity of something that you want to be better than what you've been. And you have shown absolutely nothing like that whatsoever in the last 10 years. Instead, you've just leaned into the fucking persona of the online tough guy. No one cares. Your shtick is played the fuck out, and we're tired of it. So, if you really don't care about me, don't fucking send me a threatening DM because it just makes you look like a coward. It makes you look like a stupid bitch that you sent me this. If you really want nothing to do with me, leave it blocked. Don't address me ever again because it's pretty obvious. Either I hurt your ego so fucking bad by calling you out on factual things you can't take it, or maybe you're just playing hardball on the collab, or else you wouldn't have sent me this, right? So why don't you be honest for once in your life and tell everyone the truth instead of just making shit up? Don't do online bullying threats. No one cares. This is a joke. We'll laugh at you, right? This is so stupid, all right? Enough is enough with this nonsense. This guy is something else. And it really is like, I have more I can say, but I'm tired of talking about it. We talked about it too long already. So that's it for that subject.
What can I possibly say here that your own mind isn't already screaming? I mean, he referred to himself as an inspiration, for Christ's sake. Let's go down a list of things DSP said in that rant that he himself is guilty of. If you were happy, you would not be responding to me. Every time LTG says something about Phil, Phil goes out of his way to respond. I'm not a living meme. Really, Phil? Does your leg itch? No one cares about you because you've been such a heinous person. Phil, I have some bad news for you. And here are just some quotes that are just kind of self-explanatory. People only know you from how you act on the internet. You could have all the money in the world, but you're still nobody. I don't care how much money you actually have if no one likes or respects you. You're going to stay there in your echo chamber.
Banned. Gone. Forever.
And you're just going to keep telling yourself you're better than everyone. You're better than everyone. You're better than everyone. You can't even win for yourself. You can't beat your own situation. Phil beats his demons. You have to change inside. Instead, you've just leaned into the persona of the online tough guy, says the keyboard warrior with the swaying titties. It makes you look like a coward. It makes you look like a stupid bitch. Why don't you be honest for once in your life and tell everyone the truth instead of just making shit up? I honestly cannot believe he fucking said that. And then he finishes it up with, we all laugh at you. I also can't go without mentioning the, and you're going to try to talk shit to me, where he then flexes that he's the most resilient person on the internet. Like, I've had over 24 hours to process this, and I still can't believe he's this delusional. However, this isn't a delusion. The video is over, and I appreciate you all for sticking around and watching it. Big ups to Snort Hogan again for the clip. I appreciate you. Shout out to my members, and a special shout out to my gym rats. I love you all and appreciate you. Thank you. Till next time, soul's the goal for a troll. Lift heavy, eat clean.